Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tonight's scheduled programming will not be seen, so we can bring you essential severe weather coverage.
We're going to be with you all night long covering this severe weather threat.
Only on the Weather Channel.
Grow. It's what we do. But when we put something in the ground, feed it, and care for it, don't we grow something more? We grow big celebrations and personal victories. We grow new beginnings and better endings, grand gestures and perfect quiet. We grow escape, bragging rights, happier happy hours. So let's grow something greater with Miracle-Gro. What will you grow? Share your story at miraclegrow.com.
They lived.
They lived. They lived.
We lived, thanks to our Subaru.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
We've had some impressive video and pictures of the hail coming into the Weather Channel. This is from Norfolk, Nebraska. Some hail as large as baseball size, according to some early reports. And we're not done yet. We've got a damaging wind threat. We're talking winds greater than 70 miles per hour, but also a chance we could see more tornadoes. And this just into the Weather Channel, a brand new tornado watch now issued for parts of Iowa. We're talking south of Des Moines, right down I-35 into northern Missouri. It does include Kirksville. That takes us all the way through 1 o'clock in the morning Central Time. So before you go to bed tonight, make sure you have your weather radio on alert mode. Make sure you have a way of being notified. You can see dangerous storms right now rocking their way through central and eastern Nebraska. Paul?
Well, let's talk about those storms, Kelly, because it's not just tonight. While tonight is definitely a pretty rough night, it's going to get even worse as we head towards tomorrow. Take a look at this video, though, coming in from Instagram. You can see the hail just pounding the ground. And good thing that's a statue of a dog out there, but that gazebo is definitely taking a beating. Even watching the leaves coming off of some of the plants because there's almost constant hail coming down with those storms. But these storms are not just ending once the sun goes down tonight. They're going to continue overnight, some also firing back up tomorrow. So we have another risk of severe weather, including tornadoes tomorrow here in the red, stretching from areas of Montana and Wyoming across the Dakotas back into western Nebraska, and even areas of Colorado and Kansas could also see that. But also the secondary area tomorrow, pushing where this one kind of leaves off tonight across Missouri, including now St. Louis for Wednesday, pushing eastward, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Louisville on towards Charleston, West Virginia, even Pittsburgh seeing it, even D.C. We have a risk of strong and severe thunderstorms as we head throughout the day on your Wednesday as well. Kelly?
Well, Scott Newell is live in Des Moines, Iowa, where residents there are on a severe weather alert. Scott, a tornado watch just issued south of your location, but even there you could see some wild weather later tonight.
Yeah, you bet. Also a severe flood watch that we're looking at as well, which means there could be anywhere from 2 to 4 inches in some spots, maybe even 5 inches of rains in some spots. And, you know, the average monthly rainfall here is 5 inches, so they could get a lot of that just tonight. Also, we're just starting to see, that's the western sky behind me right there. We're just starting to see some of this come in, some thunder, some lightning. And I want to show you the state capitol building here, because this is really going to be a good test if they have a lot of lightning here of a new system they installed just recently. They spent about $500,000 on it. They used to have lightning hit these domes, and they would just wreak havoc with the computers and everything else inside, including the elevators. So they've wired up a new system. It's supposed to direct that lightning going straight down from the building, right down the sides into the ground, and they're hoping that it's going to totally eliminate the problem. It just started to rain here just a little bit. We've been looking at the radar. You can see it's heading this way. Again, the flash flood watch here from 8 o'clock tonight Central to the morning, and people are urged to keep an eye on their forecast also with the severe weather. Most of this is going to go south, though, of Des Moines, but as you mentioned before, you should make sure that you have your radio nearby because a lot of this is going to hit overnight, and you have to make sure, because if this stuff moves in quickly, you have to be ready for it. Kelly, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Scott, and keep an eye on that severe weather. We are here at the Weather Channel to keep you guys safe from strong winds. It can be dangerous, even deadly.
And they also are being blamed on this. The semi blown off the road here and toppled west of Stewart, Nebraska earlier this afternoon. We're looking for a pretty nasty night there for a lot of people. We're making sure that you stay ahead of the storms.
It starts with little things, tiny changes in the brain.
Little things anyone can do.
It steals your memories, your independence.
Ensures support, a breakthrough.
And sooner than you'd like.
Sooner than you think.
You die from Alzheimer's disease.
We cure Alzheimer's disease. Every little click, call, or donation adds up to something big. Alzheimer's Association, the brains behind saving yours.
There once was a hungry road that wouldn't let drivers get very far. Then along came the Michelin Man who proved the right tire changes everything. Drive longer with the Michelin Defender tire, backed by a 90,000-mile limited warranty. Michelin, a better way forward.
It's Ram commercial truck season. And if you want to build something ahead of its time, you'll need trucks that are ahead of the rest. Trucks with the best fuel economy, 28 mpg highway. The best towing, 30,000 pounds. And the best payload, over 4,400 pounds. The complete lineup of Ram commercial vehicles is ready to help you start building tomorrow. Get a great deal during Ram commercial truck season.
This Father's Day, let's turn our hero into a superhero. Let's give him the power, consult with his sidekick, and equip him with all the super toys he needs. All on a mild-mannered budget, so he can spend some quality time back in his lair. Then come out strong and save the day. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. The Husky 200-piece mechanics tool set, just $99, guaranteed forever.
Tonight's scheduled programming will not be seen, so we can bring you essential severe weather coverage. Right now, we're tracking storms that will affect tens of millions of Americans.
We'll be out here covering it for you, keeping you ahead of the storm.
You need to watch tonight and tomorrow morning for essential coverage of this severe weather outbreak, only on the Weather Channel.
Whether you love tigers because they epitomize the wild, or simply because they are the most magnificent of the big cats, there is something you should know. Over the last century, we have lost 97% of wild tiger populations. As few as 3,200 tigers exist in the wild today. Criminals are killing them for their skins and bones. We need to do something before it's too late. World Wildlife Fund works to protect wild tigers, but we can't do it without you. For just $8 a month, you can symbolically adopt a tiger, and you can help save them and other endangered species and their habitats. To adopt now, call us or go online to WWFnow.org and receive your free adoption kit as our way of saying thank you. Wild tiger numbers are at an all-time low. Please help save them now.
Tonight's scheduled programming will not be seen, so we can bring you essential severe weather coverage.
We're going to be with you all night long covering this severe weather threat.
Only on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your local on the 8s, brought to you by Allstate. Are you in good hands?
Okay, ladies, whenever you're ready.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got this.
Oh, no, I'll get it.
Let me get it. I don't want you to pay for this.
It's not happening, honey.
Let her get it. She got her safe driving bonus check from Allstate last week, and it's her treat.
What about a tip?
Oh, here's one. Hit an Allstate agent.
Nice.
Switch today and get 2 safe driving bonus checks a year for driving safely, only from Allstate. Call 866-905-6500 now.
Here we go! Hold on, man. Is that a leak up there? That's a drip.
Oh,
okay. Now that's a leak.
That is a leak.
And if you don't have Allstate Renters Insurance, game over.
Protect your valuables from things like water damage for as low as $4 a month when you add renter's insurance to your Allstate auto policy. Call 866-905-6500 now. Plus, drivers who switched saved an average of $498 a year.
Just a few more ways Allstate is changing car insurance for good.
Call an Allstate agent and get a quote now.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We're going to start. All right, guys, back to Severe Storm Central as we've watched numerous thunderstorms with very, very heavy rain, gusty winds, almost to 100 miles per hour, very close to Omaha tonight. Continue to push on toward the east. We understand from Dave Malkoff, Epley is now shut down in terms of nobody's going in, nobody's going out, and we can certainly see why, Greg Forbes. Let's analyze these east to west.
Yeah, and Epley is the Omaha airport, and so the second round, this storm blasted them with strong winds and hail. The next storm is coming through. There'll be another. It's going to be a wet night, and flooding is going, already street flooding there is going to be worse and worse. This storm here, the lead storm, we're going to start with that one. That has had 2.25 inch hail with that. And so that one has gone across the border. They've gone from Omaha across the southwest corner of Iowa down into extreme northwest parts of Missouri. So, Sarah, can we go to that storm in northern Missouri there?
We can. If you'll just hop to back 6 and screen right there, and we'll go to our...
Alrighty.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
First one in the line. Northern Missouri.
Okay.
Oh, I had the wrong source. Sorry,
that's all right.
My fault.
We got it. Okay, here we go.
So here is the storm. This black line is the state line. So look how this storm is a supercell thunderstorm. You can see the rotation in that. In fact, it has a bit of a merger on it with an ordinary storm that has come up from the south and west, giving that line, and then this storm with a supercell. Now, most of today, the rotation has been aloft. You can see that little donut hole in there. So this has some strong rotating updraft in that will help produce that hail. And there, in fact, you see some of that rotation near the Canesville area. So can't totally rule out a tornado. They can drop down briefly with that. If so, it's going to be rain-wrapped, Jim, and heading toward the Morgan area. But hail warned and severe wind warned, certainly with this storm.
All right, let's drop back to the next one, because this one's had the big winds. We've had 70, 80, 90-mile-per-hour winds, essentially from Omaha now to the east in current position.
Yeah, this is the storm that has come through the Omaha area. The lavender cores that we saw on it with the big hail, baseball-sized hail, seems to have come down just a little bit, but now coming toward the Creston, the Lenox area, the Clarinda area, you see a little bit of a gradual weakening of that intensity of the core. But
still surging.
It may be beginning to now ingest a little bit rain-cooled air out ahead of it. And generally, the farther east we get, it's not quite as warm as where these storms began. But look at the history of this as it came down out of the Omaha area. Still places in there that are likely to have had perhaps tennis ball size hail. So,
and Greg Forbes, that's about a tenth of the history of this in terms of it. It started way up in South Dakota.
It's gone way back in southwest South Dakota or south central South Dakota.
All right, so let's get into Omaha here. We'll see what's coming at you. That's the next storm in the line.
That'll be storm number 3 in this train.
Dr. Matt has already said we've had winds 60, 70 miles per hour with that off to the west, almost right on top of the radar, actually.
Yeah, indeed. Valley right here at the very left edge of the screen. And so you can see how this is surging southeast and gusting. Not every spot in here is going to have the extremely strong winds, but but it's certainly down now near Offutt Air Force Base, blasting down with a merger again taking place in this area, the southwest, south parts of the Omaha metro area.
Big flood threat, too.
Big flood threat as more and more storms just continue to pound across the Omaha metro area.
And even though
Council Bluffs as well.
Yeah, Council Bluffs isn't on the map. We know you're right across the river, right in through here. So flood warnings, not surprisingly, we still got a long night to go in Omaha and potentially even another bow or some more hail. So that jumps us west to our next storm in the line, Sarah.
Zoom out just a little bit and you can see these storms are putting out cumulative outflow boundaries that push down to the south, and new storms can run on that, including what we think could be the most dangerous storm in terms of the tornado potential. Right now it's down just to the southwest of Columbus, and it's going to run along that boundary. Right now the circulation is kind of broad. We have a big elongated area of north flow and then the west flow coming here in the red, but still a tornado warning for this area. And
there has been a wall cloud reported with this particular storm
rotating updraft with that. Tornado would tend to be in generally this area south of Butler, heading across. Tornado warning for Polk County. So still many dangerous storms, additionally ones that will come maybe in from behind the ones we showed you.
Haven't we always wanted our own island? One without car horns or stoplights, but one filled with forts and uncharted paths, carriage rides and bike rides, and games we play all day, where the sun can't wait to wake up, and adventure waits around every corner. Nestled in the deep blue waters of Lake Huron, our island is Mackinac Island. Our island is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
There's nothing I would rather do, nowhere I'd rather be. There's nothing that quite makes me feel the way you do here with me. I'm happy as I can be, 'cause I have you and you have me. I'm happy as I can be, 'cause I have you and you have me.
The exquisite Toyota Highlander has
Boring! Hey, guys! It's got a bin for your chicken!
A computer from the future!
It's a giant freaky room for eggs! Ooh, yeah! But it ain't got no room for boring!
I'm spacing out on all this space, too!
No, we ain't got no room for boring! For boring, we ain't got no room!
The 2014 Highlander. Toyota.
Let's go places! What?
Wait! Prilosec's not made for immediate heartburn relief. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. Prilosec can take 24 hours. Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
People all over the world know us, but they don't yet know we're a family. We're right where you need us. At the next job, next adventure, or at the next exit. Helping you explore super destinations and do everything under the sun. 12 brands, more hotels than anyone else in the world. So wherever you want to be, whatever you want to do, chances are we're already there. Save up to 25% and earn bonus points when you book at WyndhamRewards.com.
With diabetes, it's tough to keep life balanced. I don't always have time to eat like I should. That's why I like Glucerna shakes. They have slowly digestible carbs to help minimize blood sugar spikes.
Glucerna, the #1 doctor-recommended brand. Battling ants can be tough and frustrating, but now there's a better way. Introducing the first ever Raid Defense System. It attacks the bugs you see, controls the bugs you don't see, and prevents by keeping bugs out. The Raid Defense System. Get the answers, beat the bugs. Raid kills bugs dead.
SC Johnson, a family company.
Tonight's scheduled programming will not be seen, so we can bring you essential severe weather coverage. Right now, we're tracking storms that will affect tens of millions of Americans.
We'll be out here covering it for you, keeping you ahead of the storm.
You need to watch tonight and tomorrow morning for essential coverage of this severe weather outbreak, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tonight's scheduled programming will not be seen, so we can bring you essential severe weather coverage.
We're going to be with you all night long covering this severe weather threat.
Only on the Weather Channel.
We've already had some dangerous storms this afternoon, and the threat continues. We are looking live at a storm chaser feed out of Gothenburg, Nebraska, showing some pretty ominous-looking clouds out there.
You definitely see the rain coming down the ground. Again, this thunderstorm is actually being warned for severe thunderstorms. We've already had reports of nearly 10 tornadoes across the Midwestern plains today because of today's severe weather outbreak. And again, we are not done by far. We also have reports of a lot of hail as well. Here's a radar view of this. Again, we're still dealing with Custer and Lincoln counties here in Nebraska under severe thunderstorm warning with that cell until 7 o'clock local time.
That's right, and that storm moving toward the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. And yeah, this is not what you want to run into. Some big hail shattering this person's windshield. This is in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Jennifer Martin Spencer posting this one on Facebook. You can barely see out the windshield now.
Yeah, and again, this is the reason why. More pictures here out of Council Bluffs, Iowa of hail. And it's measured, what's that? Looks like 3 inches deep of hail. The good news is it looks to be at the biggest, maybe golf ball size, which is about 1 3/4 inches in diameter. But we've already seen pictures of hailstones about 3 to 4 inches in diameter. Well, you're watching extended coverage of severe weather outbreak here on Weather Center Live, and our Tornado Track team is trekking across the plains to keep you ahead of the storms.
That's right. We're here with you all evening long. Reed Timmer, one of our storm chasers, is out there in Nebraska as well. He joins us now on the phone as you are tracking this dangerous storm, Reed, just to the north of you. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, we're just on the north side of Gothenburg, Nebraska, north of I-80, looking northwest. And this storm has rapidly intensified over the last 20 minutes or so. You can visibly see the rotation and the mesocyclone to that rotating updraft. And just in the last few minutes, it started to form a wall cloud, and the base is definitely getting lower, and you can see little hints of rotation in that base. So we're going to get a little closer look here out of Gothenburg and then head west and get a position on this thing. We think it's going to develop tornado potential pretty fast.
And Reed, you guys are south of this thunderstorm right now. Are you feeling any of the gusty winds or outflows from this where you are?
Well, right now, it's all inflow streaming into this thing, and that's actually increased over the last few minutes as well. We've got warm, humid southeasterly winds feeding into this storm. So right now, it's south of that cold air, and if this supercell can turn to the right and move due east, it should stay in this warm air and develop tornado potential. And just as I've been talking to you over the last few seconds, this base is really lowering. It's definitely starting to get a wall cloud on it.
And Reed, this thing is really hauling to the northeast at 50 miles per hour, but it looks like it's mainly over a pretty rural area.
Yeah, right now it looks like it's over open farm country. There are a few farmhouses in its path right now, but until it should pass just to the north of Gothenburg, north of I-80, and continue moving east. But it's definitely developing a textbook on it now, just in the last 30 seconds or a minute. So I'm thinking this could develop tornado potential as it moves east and crosses this north-south road. And it does look like there are a lot of farmhouses that pass those towns and cities. There are people that reside in the path of this storm, even in the rural countryside.
Right.
All right, thanks. That is Reed Timmer trying to lose his cell phone signal out there. He's in Gothenburg, Nebraska right now. Let's get expert analysis of what's going on right now and the threat as we head through the evening hours and overnight and head out to the expert area.
That's right. Our storm tracker Jim Cantori is out there along with our severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes.
And a lot of folks that are normally behind the scenes here, and great information all the time to us. Sean Reynolds, one of those social media guys that we have here, and he is on it. Boy, tough day here at Epley.
Yeah, look at it. You just see hail all over the ground. Looks like snow. We're seeing a lot of street flooding in Omaha as well. This is courtesy of the Omaha Police Department.
Yes, Sarah Dillingham just told me about 4 inches, Sarah?
3.5.
Okay, 3.59 in the last 3 hours, so that's an inch an hour just to the northwest of Omaha. So
yeah,
not surprising we're seeing scenes like this.
And the police department also fallen victim to a little bit of the hail. This is the back windshield of their cruiser at the police precinct there. And similar scenes. Look,
this
is a house.
Is an incredible picture because what you've got going on here. See, look at the bottom of the picture. You can see the big hail almost accumulated there. So this house was peppered with at least golf ball size hail, probably tennis or ping pong. Plus, remember the winds here we had with this, 60 to 80 miles per hour. So no home, no windows are going to stand a chance if they don't have at least some type of hurricane-resistant window or even hurricane-resistant siding. I mean, look at that. Son, what color is the siding? Was it white or pink?
I can't tell if it was a pink house with white siding or a white house with pink siding, but look at the hail here at the bottom that accumulated, and it just looked like rockets going into this house, ripping off the siding, breaking the windows, tearing down the screen. So definitely a rough day there in Plainview.
All right, thanks, Sean. Incredible pictures. Hail just ripping apart the side of that house. Let's bring in Dr. Greg Forbes again. I want to talk a little bit more about these storms and particularly this new tornado watch that's come out, because this one seems to be a bit ramped up in terms of the tornado potential.
Yeah, indeed. The Storm Prediction Center affiliates with their tornado watches the probability of having more than 2 or more tornadoes in the watch. And this one has a 70% chance. Previously, we had 40s, 30% chances. So just as we showed probably about 10 minutes ago, some of the ingredients very favorable here in southeast Nebraska as the storms run along that boundary. And we're sort of at prime time for tornadoes now. The 5 to 9 p.m. time period is prime. So we may get the storm that has been in central Nebraska get into more favorable locations. Let's see what we've got. What do you got next for us here, Sarah? So here is the storm that has been the long-lived one that had tornado warnings. Mike Bettis and team were following that one. It is heading into some of that area. And so let's zoom into that particular one.
So what is that, a 3-hour?
It was a 5-hour.
That's a 5-hour. Yeah, I was going to say that's incredible how much has happened there.
And so the leading storm that is just to the south and east of Omaha right now, I've actually taken a slice through that one. That has turned into mostly a hailstorm, but look how big that is.
Holy
Tops
cow.
here 55,000 feet tall. Big hail core in that one. Hail and wind more with that one.
And an elongated hail core, so it's not going to just hail for a couple of minutes, maybe several minutes.
Then we go, yeah, that's exactly right. Then we go out into the storm that's in central Nebraska near the Columbus, just south of Columbus, Nebraska area. Look how it has gotten itself into a well-defined hook echo. Could be a tornado in that. And if I show you the velocity signature on that one, or the rotation signature, right at this time, it again has
some good normalized
a pretty strong normalized rotation in there. So this, over the past 10 minutes or so, has been occasionally showing some very strong rotation. So places like south of Bellwood, east of David City, south of Octavia have the possibility, even though right at the moment it's not tornado warning.
And you know, we
I think we could get that.
Yeah, we just heard Reed Timmer talk about the storms that he's on in western Nebraska, how they're changing pretty rapidly here and starting to show a rapidly rotating wall cloud and things like that. All right, Forbes is going to do some more analysis. I want to bring in Mike Bettis. Mike, you're west of the storm. You're going after another type of storm right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I think we're going to try to get down into the warm air, Jim, along I-80, and maybe even go a little bit west here. Those storms really firing up in North Platte. And do you physically want to see what a cold front looks like? We see it on a map, you know, the blue barbs, right? Where we were, 2 miles north here, with temperatures in the mid-60s, 87 degrees where we stand right now. Look at this. See where the gray and the white is? Goes right overhead. We'll swing it all the way back around to the west. That's the cold front. That's what it physically looks like in the clouds up there. I had my jacket on. I was cold just a couple of minutes ago. Now I took my jacket off and it's incredibly warm. It's incredibly humid. Dew points are in the 60s. Temperature is upper 80s. So I think we play somewhere along this boundary, Jim. This is where a lot of storms have been firing, you know, in behind that cold front. But can we get the strong southerly winds into that cold front and now get lift along that cold front and see some more storms fire up here as then the low and the dry line push east. So I still think there's some opportunities for more storms to fire up. Don't let your guard down just yet, folks.
Right.
If you live along I-80 and you're thinking, I'm out of the threat, it may not be done just yet.
All right, Mike Bettis, we appreciate that. Again, Mike playing the western side of things, as is Reed Timmer and in the far west of all this. And, of course, what we're seeing, again, just to reiterate what Forbes was talking about, more and more increased normalized rotation around this little upside-down triangle. That's a tornado vortex signature right there. This storm could very soon turn into a tornado. Stick around.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Boston Market. Try our new Kentucky Bourbon Barbecue Sauce. A bold new taste for our St. Louis-style ribs with the perfect amount of heat. Also tastes great on our rotisserie chicken. Kentucky Bourbon Barbecue Sauce. Only for a limited time at Boston Market.
Make your way into Boston Market. Time for something good.
To you, they're more than just a pet, so protect them with K9 Advantix 2. Its broad spectrum protection kills fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, too. K9 Advantix 2, for the love of dog.
How's the camping trip?
Well, kids had fun, but I think I slept on a rock. What are you doing?
Having coffee.
There's Folgers in your cup.
To catch a pest, you have to think like a pest. So for the ants that are climbing from these branches to this house, I'll rotate my baits. From protein to sugar to fats.
Grow. It's what we do. But when we put something in the ground, feed it, and care for it, don't we grow something more? We grow big celebrations and personal victories. We grow new beginnings and better endings, grand gestures and perfect quiet. We grow escape, bragging rights, happier happy hours. So let's grow something greater with Miracle-Gro. What will you grow? Share your story at miraclegrow.com.
Check. Energizer protects your devices from damaging leaks.
Peace of mind is important when you're running a successful business. So we provide IT services you can rely on. With CenturyLink as your trusted IT partner, you'll experience reliable uptime for the network and services you depend on. Multi-layered security solutions keep your information safe and secure. And responsive dedicated support meets your needs and eases your mind. CenturyLink. Your link to what's next.
When you're ready,
ServPro, how can we help?
help gets there faster. The cleanup specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO and ServPro.com. Helping make fire and water damage like it never even happened.
With my friends, we'll do almost anything. Out for drinks, eats. I have very well-fitting dentures. I like to eat a lot of fruits. Love them all. The seal I get with the Super Polygrip Free keeps the seeds from getting up underneath.
Even well-fitting dentures let in food particles. Super Polygrip is zinc-free. With just a few dabs, it's clinically proven to seal out more food particles, so you're more comfortable and confident while you eat.
A lot of things going on in my life, and last thing I want to be thinking about is my dentures.
Try zinc-free Super Polygrip.
We're still dealing with a lot of severe weather across the Midwest, including the Plain States and Nebraska. In fact, Omaha is getting hit pretty hard throughout much of this afternoon, and it continues right now.
Yeah, some big hail, some flooding concerns as well. Joining us right now on the phone is Joe Rotterdam. He's the Assistant Manager of Airline Affairs. And Joe, I understand the airport there had to be closed for a few hours.
That's correct. We've been closed for about 2 hours now. Originally, it was because of the heavy first line of hail that came through, and now it's because of flash flooding concerns around the airport.
And we've seen pictures and heard stories of people actually having to kind of wade through floodwaters, trying to, get to or from the terminal. Have conditions gotten any better?
Actually, no, it's still pretty flooded. Both the entrance and exit roads to our terminal here are under upwards of 2, sometimes somewhere 3 feet of water.
Wow, and it's still coming down. And Joe, as we look at the radar, there is just a heavy stream of water headed right for you guys. It's only going to get worse.
That's what it looks like. We can't seem to catch a break right now.
I understand the airport's been closed for quite some time now. How are the airlines dealing with this? Do they have areas to kind of perhaps shelter some of their tarmac equipment so, again, the floodwaters and also the gusty damaging winds coming through won't be impacted?
Sure. We've had some of the airlines, they've hidden their equipment in whatever places they can. We haven't really seen any significant damage around the airport property yet, but we're definitely going to be reevaluating here in a few hours once the rains hopefully leave the area.
And the hail, you know, we've seen very large hail, especially north of Omaha. I'm not exactly sure where the airport is in relation to where we've been seeing some of the hail, although our Dave Malkoff has been taking pictures of the hail. And it looks like it accumulated there on the ground.
It did. The airport is on the northeast side of Omaha. We had nickel to quarter-size hail here at the airport, and in certain areas we had about an inch of hail in certain spots, but a lot of that melted off, and then the rain helped wash it away. We had a pretty warm day today, and the airfield temperatures really helped melt a lot of that hail away.
And Joe, are you anticipating the airport still being closed as we head towards tomorrow morning?
No, we hope to have the airport open back tonight. It's all going to depend on when we can see the floodwaters recede, especially on the drives leading into the terminal building.
All right, Joe. Yeah, again, that flash flood warning does go until 12:15 your time. So hopefully the rain will start to clear out for you and you can get things up and running again there at the airport.
That's what we're hoping. Thanks.
The good news is you don't have the same passenger inflow as, say, of the Chicago O'Hare, but still, if that's your airport trying to get there, airport's closed. That is a huge inconvenience. We're still tracking a lot of severe weather, including new tornado warnings coming out. Let's head back to the expert area.
Yeah, this one, guys, in far western Nebraska, and we'll show you that in just a minute, but there's a couple things going on now, again, off to the east that we want to point out, including even some more damaging wind in central Nebraska. So let's take a look at this lead storm. You mentioned David City. You thought it was going to wrap up soon.
Yeah, well, I was going to say before we went to that, we saw that big picture there that had just this whole train of storms that were all along. Zoom out if you could possibly, Sarah. Just this whole big train of storms the whole way now heading from Kirksville, Missouri, down into the area back into western Nebraska. So there, yeah. So we have now a whole big long train track of these storms running along this frontal zone from northern Missouri heading toward Kirksville, back again coming toward the Omaha area, back into a big bow that is out near North Platte, and then back even behind that a storm with a tornado warning. So let's start with the storm there that's west of Omaha. This is one that's previously had tornado warnings on it. It's south and east of Columbus, Nebraska now. Butler, Colfax, and Saunders counties have severe thunderstorm warnings on this. Could be perhaps even hail that could be up to softball size on this. But
rotation
this one has definitely some large-scale rotation on that coming right toward the David City area. Let me show you the high resolution. It shows even more of a hook that's wrapped around that with the warm inflow coming in toward there, the rain cooled air wrapping around. These storms are high precipitation supercells, so with all the hail in it, they quickly gust out and make it tough to get the tornado to last very long. But if I take a look at this one and the normalized rotation, there is a pretty good rotation signature showing there. So while it's not tornado warned, I wouldn't be surprised to see a tornado. And this is a huge storm. Look, I took a slice across from the Shelby area up toward the Kirkland area here in Nebraska. And it is a big storm with an arch. There's hail on the one side, the updrafts come in here, and then there's hail on the other side with right above the updraft, the hail suspended up there about 15,000 feet, growing until it can get big enough to fall to the ground.
What's with all these towers?
Well, there's a big line of multiple updrafts inside this storm that's trying to become a line. So this one, if it heads southeast toward Wahoo, Nebraska there, about 722. Go one more to the west, Sarah, real quickly.
Quickly trying to get the tornado warning cell in there.
And we're probably not going to have time. I'll use my high resolution tornado warning cell out there near Broadwater, Nebraska.
My mornings are definitely not routine, and that can take a lot of energy.
Introducing Nature Valley Breakfast Biscuits. 4 biscuits, 26 grams of whole grains that give you the energy to help keep you going.
I love Nature Valley Breakfast Biscuits.
Break the ice with breath-freshening, cooling crystals. Icebreakers.
He was the most welcoming person that I ever knew.
Payne Stewart cared about everybody else.
He was the kind of guy that would be there for you if you needed him.
The story that needs to be felt is what a real true person he was.
His legend will continue to grow.
Payne, Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Monday night at 10 on Golf Channel.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The math for getting higher yield potentials is simple. 4 is greater than 2. Steiger Rotrax Series tractors give you proven Case IH Quadtrac technology, helping you cover more acres in less time. And with 4 independent oscillating tracks, you'll also minimize ground pressure and compaction for a better growing environment, all of which adds up to higher potential yields. The world of farming is changing. Be ready with Case IH.
Surely a vacuum shouldn't just work on carpets. Well, the Dyson DC65 cleans better than any other vacuum across hard floors and carpets. Works for me.
Now save up to $100 on Dyson technology.
It's your time at Best Western this summer, so enjoy your family breakfast time and your adventure time, and get a free night for your next time. Stay 3 separate times and get a free night. Book now at bestwestern.com.
Whether you love tigers because they epitomize the wild, or simply because they are the most magnificent of the big cats, there is something you should know. Over the last century, we have lost 97% of wild tiger populations. As few as 3,200 tigers exist in the wild today. Criminals are killing them for their skins and bones. We need to do something before it's too late. World Wildlife Fund works to protect wild tigers, but we can't do it without you. For just $8 a month, you can symbolically adopt a tiger, and you can help save them and other endangered species and their habitats. To adopt now, call us, or go online to WWFnow.org and receive your free adoption kit as our way of saying thank you. Wild tiger numbers are at an all-time low. Please, help save them now.
Tonight's scheduled programming will not be seen, so we can bring you essential severe weather coverage.
We're going to be with you all night long covering this severe weather threat.
Only on the Weather Channel.
For Miss America?
For Miss America.
All right, guys, we continue to watch a lot of storminess tonight, really from western Nebraska all the way into Iowa here. And we've got several storms here that pose a danger of wind, big hail, and now even a tornado. So let's start west and we'll move east. And along that as well, Greg Forbes, we may talk to some storm stars. And guys, take the mix minus out of our ears, please, so we can hear ourselves think. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, out to the west, a storm that's heading east-southeast. It may come to the North Platte area. Then there's a bow echo that's north and east of the North Platte. Additional storms. You can see it's going to be a rainy, floody night for Omaha. And then fast winds in this bow echo. That's the one that previously hit Omaha has had 86 mile per hour winds. So let's zoom in. We're going from west to east here out with a tornado warning storm south and east of Bridgeport. That's in Morrill County in Nebraska. You can see this is definitely a supercell thunderstorm with a hook down in the southwest side. So it's all by itself tapping some air that at times has been 95 degrees in the area. So here is the storm. There is the Bridgewater area. The inflow coming in, the rain-cooled air in ideal radar location, but let me see if
the problem is too is it's near a town, so that's what we're concerned about for you here.
But we do have, and why did that not just show up? Oh, because I'm on the wrong radar. All right,
let me try. So Greg's going to look for the normalized rotation here and see what we got.
Not extremely strong in this case, but we'll continue to track this one.
All right, Sarah, let's move east and talk about, we got to, again, watch out on Lisco and potentially Oshkosh a little bit later on as the hook part of that storm, the one that's rotating, continues to travel toward the east. Now, this bow, which goes from Broken Bow all the way up through central Nebraska, is going to have some damaging winds with it.
And I believe we've had a report of 79-mile-per-hour gusts with this, is my understanding, near Ord. It probably has several places that could have very strong winds in it, but certainly the biggest crest of the bow is coming right across the line here, the county lines. And Sarah's going to time this one. I probably will get to Columbus. Go a little farther if you could, Sarah, to pull in the Columbus area. As this one, again, looks like, there we go. And so Columbus probably about 821, Madison 754. So, again, damaging winds and large hail. This one has had some hail, at least bigger than baseball size in that.
Sarah, let's drop down to this cell here. No, not that one. I want to go west because Timmer's on that storm. He's on the tail end of that other storm, I think near the Goldenberg area. So that's that one, yeah. I think near the Custer and Lincoln counties, near Delight and Elm, near Gothenburg, excuse me.
That's right.
Reed Timmer, you are on the phone now right near I-80. What are you seeing with this storm, buddy?
Hey, Jim, we're looking southeast at it right now. We're north of Gothenburg, due west of it, coming up on State Route 47. And definitely has a wall cloud to our southeast. It really tried to wrap up about 15 minutes ago when we were just south of it. And it looks like it might be pulling in some of that cold air from the north side of the outflow boundary now, which would be a good thing. But if this storm starts to turn southeast, it could develop that tornado potential. And right now we're trying to decide whether to stay on this cell or head west for that one near Bridgeport on the Nebraska Panhandle. But right now it's got a wall cloud, and we're going to head east to get better visual.
All right, buddy, we appreciate the update on that, and you can see what he's talking about. He's looking at it from the west side, Greg, and there's that cool inflow coming into the storm.
And there's a bit of a surprise. You would probably have expected the fastest rotation up in there, but there's also a little bit of a notch down in here. And if I go to the high-resolution radar, there is the one notch that I talked about. There's a bit of another. Where do you guess the strongest rotation is going to be showing up on this one? Well, it's the southern one, because that's closest to the warm air. So this may have been an old circulation, a new one forming down on the south flanks closest to that hot, warm, unstable air. So sometimes you get little bits of surprises.
All right, this is the storm that you think should have a tornado warning on it, and you're going to be looking. This is a good spot, Nikki, to put up Garrison, Nebraska's Bob Pax stream so we can see that, because this is pretty close, I believe, to this cell.
So this previously has had tornado warnings. Yeah, very dark situation there. He's probably gotten a little bit into the rain or into the body of the storm. Butler, Colfax, Saunders counties, severe thunderstorm warning. Could be bigger than, could be softball size hail with this.
Now, is this storm not getting as decent an inflow or because of the gust front from the previous stuff? Or do you think this is pretty much untapped?
I think it's pretty much untapped. I think it's running right down along the boundary, and certainly could have some baseball size hail there. Let me see. Have I got the right... There it is.
There
okay,
it is.
so I was just not sure if I had the right radar showing up here.
But
again,
got 6 of them up tonight.
Really spirals around with some inflow coming in here. Here you see some of this. So I think this is the boundary left behind from the previous storm. So it is tapping an ideal situation in principle, and getting some pretty good wraparound. Let me see if I go over here and get this one.
And this is also
rotation is strong.
It's strong, yeah.
On that, right at that. Right at that location right there, right where you would expect it. The inflow coming in, rain-wrapped air wrapping around. Let me see if there's any dual pole correlation signature. Mostly it's, again, as we've seen today, it's in the clear air where we're getting those blue values. So no sign at the moment of any debris in this.
Max 6, Sarah?
But coming toward the David City area, be worried about a possible tornado there.
Right. This is a new tornado warning out, and Sarah has, no, actually she has not timed
coming
that
up. I timed that out, but we're gonna hop over here to this new warning.
Brand new tornado warning in just to the west of Lamonia, Iowa.
And this has been the big player all day. This is the one that's produced the winds of 86 miles per hour.
And the Weather Service had commented when they issued this latest severe warning, they were going to up the wind probabilities to 100 miles per hour possible with this storm.
Wow. Yeah, up to 100. And it's had a measured 86. Is that correct?
And a 91 earlier on. So very, very powerful storms in western Iowa. We'll keep you posted tonight.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We've been seeing some nasty hail and some dangerous winds out there as well. We're taking a live look near Surprise, Nebraska. We've got some storm trackers and chasers out there as well, kind of being our eyes and ears out there in the field to let you know what is headed your way.
Yeah, Surprise is to the west of Omaha and kind of northwest of Lincoln, Nebraska. You can see the heavy rain continues to come down. Already reports of flooding around Omaha at the airport as well. We're seeing pictures and seeing video of some of the access roads trying to lead towards the terminal, which are having standing water, people wading through water trying to get to or from the terminals. The airport has been closed for at least 2 hours. You can see the hail already on some of the tarmacs there. And again, there are no flights going in or out of Omaha Airport for at least the rest of this evening.
Yeah, flash flood warning does continue until at least midnight local time. So thanks again for joining us for the special edition of Weather Center Live. I'm Kelly Cass.
And I'm Paul Goodlow. We're here with you all night long to keep you ahead of these storms. We already had at least maybe 9 reports of tornadoes, and there's still concern right now for severe weather. Let's head over to the expert area and check in with our storm tracker, Jim Cantore. Jim?
Hey guys, we're going to pick up where we left off with Dr. Greg Forbes talking about that tornado warning. And as Sarah said, the winds potentially here up to 100 miles per hour. Whether you get the tornado or not, you're in trouble with 100-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, this is the same bow echo that gave strong winds in the Omaha area. It is now down, getting very close to the southern border of Iowa, about ready to move into Missouri. And note, though, that there's this whole trainload of storms here. So Omaha, you already have flooding. There's probably at least 5 more storms that may come through that may each give an inch of rain. So we're going to have big flooding threats, bigger than tonight than we have right now.
When's the last time you saw a supercell travel 4 states?
Yeah.
This started in South Dakota.
Yeah, it really has gone a long, long time. Once in a while we've had that, but usually they're going northeastbound when their supercells going that far. We had one time that came from Kansas all the way to Michigan. I forget the distance, but this is certainly a long-lived one. High precipitation. You can see the arms coming in. So it is sort of a hybrid. At times it's been primarily a bow echo, but now it's got itself some big broad swirl in it, so that embedded in the middle here near the Mount Ayr area, around the Ringgold area, there you see the velocity. So big broad circulation there showing up in the Doppler velocities with pretty fast winds. I'll go to the high resolution radar here.
It's kind of interesting. We've had this storm that's been out ahead of this with some golf ball hail.
I hit the wrong button.
And rain and whatnot, Greg Forbes. But why hasn't that, kind of slowed this thing down? It almost looks like it's about to merge with that or catch up with it.
Well, part of what the reason is that with all that big hail, the hail melts and cools the air, and so it keeps just generating the fast movement for the storm.
Okay.
So here is the storm we're talking about. There is the broad rotation. It's running along boundaries of storms that have come out ahead of it and the front. And so the normalized rotation in here, not extremely strong at this instant, but the problem with this one is at this point that rotation is totally back in the middle of this rain and hail, and so you're not going to see this one coming if it does produce a tornado. And it definitely, as you say, is going to have some pretty strong quarter of winds coming right toward Lamoni, Iowa.
Yeah, and this is going to come right into northern Missouri and potentially catch this first cell.
Yeah, really will. So coming into Lamoni there about 7:14, and then angling its way into Missouri, Lindley about 7:34.
All right, again, guys, whether you get the tornado warning or not, 100-mile-an-hour winds should be sufficient enough to warn you to get out of harm's way with this.
That will cause EF1 damage in places where it gusts that fast.
Absolutely. Let's go back to Omaha here. You can see all this stuff is going to eventually maybe head down toward Kirksville. This is this lead storm, which, again, may catch up with it.
Look at the hail core in that one. Could be softball size coming toward generally the Kirksville area. Right. And then just to the north of Newtown and Pollock, the Unionville area. Look at that size of that one. Going to be bigger than baseball. I'm thinking aloft, close to 4 inches. So that's probably going to be bigger than baseball size, coming right down in that white core there.
Do you see any rotation with that? Or?
There's definitely some rotation. You can see how the storm is spiraling. So all of these are rotating, but they're rotating stronger aloft than they are at the surface. So there is some rotation there definitely in that heading toward the Newtown area. You can never totally rule out a brief tornado in these storms, although it seems like we're not getting long-lived tornadoes thus far today.
All right, so Omaha, here's round 2 coming through you now. Again, still raining. We have a lot of flooding in Omaha and Council Bluffs and Iowa. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a break there. Let's head west again, and now we're going to pretty much quickly catch up with the David City cell, or the Wahoo cell, which again, we're waiting for it to go tornado.
Definitely, you can see how it's running along a boundary then with its own gust front, its own rain-cooled air coming around here. So it has the warm air coming in, it has the boundary there, so it's in a position where there's a lot of things in its favor. And if I can get the right buttons pushed, we may be able to take that one, look at that one in high-resolution radar, and I did hit the right button, thank goodness. And this is one that continues to wrap around with that big hail core. Look at all that hail there. There is the boundary, and then there's warm air coming in. So a triple point, if you will. And again, if I take a look at the normalized rotation in this, it continues to show right at that triple point location that there could be a tornado or a funnel cloud, at least, if it's not reaching the ground. I think this is hail, not a debris signature. We'll take a quick look at the correlation. But again, the correlation seems to be all in the low precipitation, the clear air. So can't say there's any debris with this at the moment, but boy, I'd be scared of there possibly being a tornado with this at some point this evening. It's going into an area, Jim, that we showed earlier, high tornado potential. All
right, and this one also may head down toward Lincoln, at least the southern flank of that, as it's kind of building toward the south. So Chapman, Oak Creek, keep an eye on this. Wahoo at 7:22. Guys, we'll keep you posted here from the update desk. Right now, let's go back to Paul and Kelly.
All right, thanks, gentlemen. And again, we're still watching severe weather, not only tornadoes, but also the producing strong wind, also damaging hail as well. In fact, take a look at these live pictures coming out of Garrison, Nebraska. You can see the dark skies and more rain coming down.
Yeah, Bob Pack is actually chasing that storm right now. He joins us now on the phone right now. And Bob, it looks like that severe thunderstorm warning for Saunders and also Colfax and Butler continues at least for another few minutes.
Yes, and I'm not surprised. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to get bombarded by 1-inch hail right now. Very soon I'm going to have to start east. I'm just east of Brainerd, Nebraska right now.
And looking at the map, Garrison is about 60 miles or so to the east or to the west of Omaha. Where have you been today, and what have you seen so far this afternoon?
Well, I've seen some insane cloud motions, that's for sure. I did see a brief tornado earlier. I can't recollect right now the exact location, but it was about 6 or 7 miles away from me, lasted about 5 minutes. But other than that, it's just been hail. I'm starting to get a lot more cloud-to-ground lightning here as well. And visibility is getting, as you may can see on the stream, it's getting rather difficult to see.
And Bob, according to the National Weather Service, that storm that you're looking at right now is moving very quickly to the southeast at 80 miles per hour. What is your plan?
Well, I don't think I can drive 80 miles per hour, so there's a high probability I'm going to maybe turn around and do a 180.
All right, Bob. Be careful out there. We'll check back with you.
The exquisite Toyota Highlander has every amenity.
Hit it, guys! It's got a bin for your chicken.
A computer from the future.
And some giant freaky room for eggs. Ooh, yeah! But it ain't got no room for boring.
I'm spacing out on all this space, too.
No, we ain't got no room for boring. For boring, we ain't got no room.
The 2014 Highlander. Toyota.
Let's go places. What?
I'm just like everybody else. Oh, yeah. I put my pants on one leg at a time. So my pants are 22 different flavors. But other than that, I'm completely normal.
Try any of our 22 delicious flavors. Smile. It's Kool-Aid.
I'm MMA champ Chuck Liddell, and I stop things. Just like Duralast brakes. They stop anything! Duralast, proven tough. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Grow. It's what we do. But when we put something in the ground, feed it, and care for it, don't we grow something more? We grow big celebrations and personal victories. We grow new beginnings and better endings. Grand gestures and perfect quiet. We grow escape, bragging rights, happier happy hours. So let's grow something greater with Miracle-Gro. What will you grow? Share your story at miraclegrow.com.
Tonight's scheduled programming will not be seen, so we can bring you essential severe weather coverage. Right now, we're tracking storms that will affect tens of millions of Americans.
We'll be out here covering it for you, keeping you ahead of the storm.
You need to watch tonight and tomorrow morning for essential coverage of this severe weather outbreak, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tonight's scheduled programming will not be seen, so we can bring you essential severe weather coverage.
We're going to be with you all night long covering this severe weather threat.
Only on the Weather Channel.
Whoa.
Nobody insures more bikes than Progressive. Do you guys ride?
Well,
no.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if you know anybody else who also rides, send them here. We got great coverage. It's not like bikers love their bikes more than life itself. I doubt anyone will even notice.
Leading the pack in motorcycle insurance. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
In 1902, Carrier introduced the world to modern air conditioning, and we've been improving on the idea ever since. So if you're getting the idea to upgrade to a more comfortable, more efficient system, you really ought to think about Carrier. And there's no better time to talk than right now. Get up to 60 months financing with 0% interest on a new home comfort system. Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live, and take a look at these pictures in baseball-sized hail. We're talking almost 3 inches in diameter. This picture taken in Blair, Nebraska by Caitlin Harrison there. And there's a lot more where this picture came from.
Yeah, in fact, it's piling up in some cases. This is a huge pile of hail. This is here at Omaha, Nebraska. Sarah McAllister is sending this one in on Twitter. It almost looks like snow.
Yeah, and hail can do this. Hail damage in Fort Calhoun, Nebraska. And siding is damaged. The window is broken. That's the side of a house. Imagine what the roof could look like. Imagine the roof of a car. And speaking of cars, there we go.
There's a car right there. Chris Cram tweeting this one out, or putting this one on Instagram. Hooper, Nebraska, showing a windshield that was smashed, and certainly the hood was really dented up pretty badly. So this is just one of the many hazards that we are dealing with this evening.
And this part of the country, not just homes and not just cars, but you also have to worry about livestock out here. And now it looks like even the tower cam here in Omaha is getting rocked by the strong winds.
Another storm is now moving into Omaha, Nebraska. We're under a flash flood warning, and more heavy rain. Dangerous lightning is moving on in. Our storm tracker Jim Cantori is out there in our Global Forecast Center. Our severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes has been tracking these storms for us as well. Hey guys.
Hey, yeah, we've been watching especially this one supercell, which has had a history of incredible winds, 70 to 100 miles per hour, literally from South Dakota through Nebraska, Iowa, now on the Missouri border.
Yeah, it's a storm that has transitioned from being an individualized supercell, then it gusts out, turns into a bow echo, goes back to rotating, and it all began, well, right about here. So put it in motion, Sarah. We'll see that back from where it began, you can see this big long track of where it has gone. It went through Omaha, now it's coming down toward Lamoni, Iowa. And if we measure that out, we'll see that beginning about here, it has gone all the way down, it gets to the Iowa border here, 500 miles. So that certainly is double the duration that you need distance-wise. And now we're beginning to get the second. So when you have just one, yes, when you have just one that's with an individual storm like this one, that's called a progressive derecho. It's a little on the narrow side. There might be some sticklers that say it's not big enough, but now that we're getting a second or third of these that are coming down and off to its west, it will definitely meet the width requirements. But when you get more than one of these bow echoes that are causing it, they become what is called a serial derecho event. And this one has gone probably, although I'm not sure this is all one storm, but 391 miles for that stretch.
And
so cumulatively, that becomes, when there's more than one, produce a cumulative widespread wind swath. Those are called serial derechos.
Interesting night, Greg Force. All right, let's talk about where we are now and where this serial may go, because that'll be, actually, we've still got both of them going
we
on.
still have the one individual that's down here, but then what I'm talking about, the serial, there's more than one of these lines and bows that are rolling along the same path, mostly going along the south flanks of the outflow boundary and the front that the first one had. So these storms, obviously, then are going to continue overnight. Let's do a forecast, Sarah. The highest risk that we put out, the greatest risk for these bow echoes rolling across and with tornadoes with it as well. But that overnight tonight is likely to roll into central parts of Illinois, and then even into tomorrow, likely to keep going across parts of Ohio, Indiana, maybe getting all the way to the Appalachians there in parts of Pennsylvania, West Virginia, northern Kentucky. So,
and this may be the same bow we're watching now.
I think so, yeah.
At Panera Bread, we choose only crunchy, flavorful hearts of romaine for our salads, and only chicken raised without antibiotics. Because we want each of our hand-tossed, made-to-order salads to be the tastiest salads for the season. Panera Bread.
Find your Panera Bread favorite and share with us. Hashtag Panera Faves.
Check.
Energizer protects your devices from damaging leaks.
Here's to the man who truly is the best of us.
Who really has the key to the city? With best-in-class payload and best-in-class cargo capacity and an unsurpassed powertrain warranty, you run the town. The all-new Ram ProMaster. Guts, glory, Ram.
My mornings are definitely not routine, and that can take a lot of energy.
Introducing Nature Valley Breakfast Biscuits. 4 biscuits, 26 grams of whole grains that give you the energy to help keep you going.
I love Nature Valley Breakfast Biscuits.
This season, we're taking back the backyard. Let's mix, let's match, and let's grab these guys. Add this guy, ooh, and this cool new thing. Save all these guys, and then let's mix it up. Let's turn the space we always had into the space we've always wanted. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Get free Bug Stop for indoors with purchase of Trazicide for outdoors.
Tonight's scheduled programming will not be seen, so we can bring you essential severe weather coverage. Right now, we're tracking storms that will affect tens of millions of Americans.
We'll be out here covering it for you, keeping you ahead of the storm.
You need to watch tonight and tomorrow morning for essential coverage of this severe weather outbreak, only on the Weather Channel.
Whether you love tigers because they epitomize the wild, or simply because they are the most magnificent of the big cats, there is something you should know. Over the last century, we have lost 97% of wild tiger populations. As few as 3,200 tigers exist in the wild today. Criminals are killing them for their skins and bones. We need to do something before it's too late. World Wildlife Fund works to protect wild tigers, but we can't do it without you. For just $8 a month, you can symbolically adopt a tiger, and you can help save them and other endangered species and their habitats. To adopt now, call us, or go online to WWFnow.org and receive your free adoption kit as our way of saying thank you. Wild tiger numbers are at an all-time low. Please, help save them now.
Tonight's scheduled programming will not be seen, so we can bring you essential severe weather coverage.
We're going to be with you all night long covering this severe weather threat.
Only on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your local on the 8s, brought to you by Allstate. Are you in good hands?
It's always the same dilemma. Who gets the Allstate Safe Driving Bonus Check?
Rock beats scissors.
Wife beats rock.
And with 2 checks a year, everyone wins.
Switch today and get 2 safe driving bonus checks a year for driving safely, only from Allstate. Call 866-906-8500 now.
Zach really loves his new camera. Problem is, this isn't Zach. It's a friend of a friend who was at Zach's party and stole his camera. But Zach's got it covered with Allstate Renters Insurance.
Protect your valuables for as low as $4 a month when you add renter's insurance to your Allstate auto policy. Call 866-906-8500 now.
What are you doing?
We're switching car insurance.
Why?
Because these guys are the cheapest.
Why?
Good question. Because a cut rate price could mean cut rate protection.
You should listen to this guy.
With Allstate, you get great protection and a great price, plus an agent. Drivers who switch saved an average of $498 a year. Call now and see how much you can save.
Just a few more ways Allstate is changing car insurance for good.
Call an Allstate agent and get a quote now.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to this extended edition of Weather Center Live. Here's a live look at Omaha, Nebraska. Thunderstorms have been dumping rain across the region, and now the strong, gusty, damaging winds are coming on through here. We're talking some of the thunderstorms are moving at 70, 80 miles per hour. Some of the wind gusts are approaching 100 miles per hour. So whether you have a tornado or not, these storms, the winds in it are doing plenty of damage. Take a look at the watches here. These are tornado watches here in the red, including Omaha, and then out to the west of here, Rapid City, areas of South Dakota, Nebraska, as well as Wyoming. You're under a severe thunderstorm watch as well. You can see lines of showers and thunderstorms, and unfortunately, we're starting to have a couple of things happen here. One is a heavy rain threat, especially for Des Moines, Omaha, flooding going on right now, not to mention the damaging wind, and still a tornado threat. Gentry, Harrison, Mercer counties under severe thunderstorm warnings till 7:30 local time, and we're also concerned with more storms like even Ringgold County. You had a tornado warning, and now it's a severe thunderstorm warning. Omaha, not severe, but heavy rain for you. But just to the west of you, we have Lancaster and Saunders County under a severe thunderstorm warning till 7:45 local time. And the rain and the lightning continues to just pummel this entire area. And we're going to see more and more of this as we head throughout the evening. But take a look at this. It's all raining on the same areas. And, you know, we already got rain west to east, and the rain is still moving from the west to the east over the same areas that just got dumped on rain. So and this is one of the things kind of overlooked a lot of time is the flash flood and the flooding potential with this. We're going to finally push it out overnight, but then we have a strong, damaging windstorm blow on through areas of northern Missouri, central Illinois, perhaps even Chicago, and then pushing on towards the southern Great Lakes, maybe even Detroit as we head on towards tomorrow. And we're also concerned with more severe weather across the Ohio Valley as we head towards this time on your Wednesday. So tonight, you see here in the kind of the pink and purplish, the greatest risk for severe weather, mainly damaging winds and tornadoes and large hail right here from eastern Nebraska stretching across into Iowa and northern Missouri. Our TORCON, or Tornado Conditions Index, we're talking 4s and 5s here across northern Missouri and much of southern Iowa, southeastern Iowa, northeastern Missouri. A 40% chance of seeing a tornado within 50 miles of this location, and already closing in on about a dozen reports of tornadoes so far just this evening. Across the region tomorrow, more strong and severe thunderstorms from the Dakotas back onto the Wyoming, areas of northeastern Colorado, and back to the Panhandle, Nebraska. And then we have another area stretching across the Ohio Valley, which will see strong and severe thunderstorms, wind and hail, huge concerns, not to mention lightning, as we push this right across St. Louis, Indianapolis, Louisville, Cincinnati, even on towards Charleston, even Pittsburgh, D.C. You can see this tomorrow as well. But right now we have a new tornado warning into Iowa. We're talking about Decatur County. I think we can pull that up on the radar. I think I might have it even on Max 1. We might have Max 2. Here we go. Decatur, Iowa, under a tornado warning. This is just north of the Missouri border here. Davis City, Lamoni, New Buda, all under a tornado warning right now till 7:45 local time. Doppler radar, like it has numerous times already this afternoon and this evening, has reported rotation within the thunderstorm. First sign we could have a developing tornado, and most likely it could be wrapped in rain here as we head across southern Iowa. Kelly?
And remember, we are with you all day, all night to keep you ahead of the tornado and severe weather threat. You can stay with the Weather Channel on air, online, and we're always available on your mobile device as well. Well, Scott Newell is live in Des Moines, Iowa, where residents are on a severe weather alert, not just severe storms, but also a flood threat. And Scott, what are you seeing at this hour?
Yeah, it's just started to rain a little bit heavier. It's not raining that heavily right now, but the flash flood watch begins in about a half hour, goes through the night, so you got to be careful. Rains as high as 3 to 5 inches per hour in some spots. They're expecting accumulations of about 2 to 4 in most spots. We have been seeing a lot of lightning in the western sky up here, some really dandy lightning, in fact. But so far, it stayed pretty far away. If you are, though, in one of these areas where there are the possibility of flash floods, like right here, then you've got to be careful. In fact, in 2008, the area that we're standing in right now, it flooded right up to here. We're near a hotel right now, and that had water inside right into the building. So they're hoping that that doesn't happen here again. Again, make sure you stay overnight. The rain is going to continue, so stay close to some sort of weather forecast so you can stay safe. Back to you, Kelly.
Scott, thank you so much. As part of our all-night coverage, we have crews in the field, and we'll have another severe weather update right here at the Weather Channel as well.
Hey, I noticed your car's not in the driveway.
Yeah, it's in the shop. It's going to cost me an arm and a leg.
That's hilarious.
Sorry.
Should have taken it to Midas. Get some of that Midas touch. They'll tell you what stuff needs fixing and what stuff can wait.
All right. Next time, going to Midas.
High five. Did not see that coming.
It's time to take a closer look at your tires. Get up to $160 back by mail on a set of 4 Goodyear, Cooper, Firestone, and other select brands. Tires, brakes, oil, everything.
She keeps you on your toes. You wouldn't have it any other way. But your erectile dysfunction? It could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines, and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may ache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any allergic reactions like rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about experiencing Cialis for daily use and a free 30-tablet trial.
Surely a vacuum shouldn't just work on carpets. Well, the Dyson DC65 cleans better than any other vacuum across hard floors and carpets. Works for me.
Now save up to $100 on Dyson technology.
Summer's finally here, so let's grab our co-pilots and co-create some adventures. At Petco, we've got everything you need, from life vests to doggy sunscreen, even ideas on how you and your companion can make this summer one to remember. Petco.
Kids are fed?
Kids are fed, homework is done, baths are taken.
I'm impressed. Looks like you've got everything under control.
We got it all under control here. We're all good, right, guys?
Yeah. Yeah, we're all good here. Yep.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Finally, a paint that's stain-resistant and scrubbable. Introducing new Valspar Reserve. Now the colors you love stay the colors you love. Exclusively at Lowe's.
Tonight's scheduled programming will not be seen, so we can bring you essential severe weather coverage. Right now, we're tracking storms that will affect tens of millions of Americans.
We'll be out here covering it for you, keeping you ahead of the storm.
You need to watch tonight and tomorrow morning for essential coverage of this severe weather outbreak, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tonight's scheduled programming will not be seen, so we can bring you essential severe weather coverage.
We're going to be with you all night long covering this severe weather threat.
Only on the Weather Channel.
Check out this video here. Our tornado track team, along with Mike Bettis, driving by an overturned semi-trailer. All thanks to the strong gusty winds that are still blowing on through areas of the plains and Midwest here. Some reported and clocked over 90 miles per hour.
Yeah, hopefully they're okay. No report of any injuries with that overturned trailer. And check this out. Video, the storm moving through Omaha, Nebraska. Our own Kate Parker has been there with her crew, and you can see the rain just coming down in sheets. We've had some hail. You can see it right there bouncing off the pavement.
Yeah, that's when Kate and her crew were taking shelter as the storm with plenty of lightning came on through there. And here's another picture of hail falling in someone's backyard here in Norfolk, Nebraska. And the largest hailstone they measured was around 2 inches, which is just larger than golf ball. Golf ball is 1.75 inches. So, yeah, once you get over, say, an inch-size hail, that considers it a severe thunderstorm.
And you could see damage like this. Check this out. This car is just really dinged up by some large hail. The windshield and actually the rear window was blown out as well. So, again, this is a very serious situation because we've had lots of reports of large hail, damaging winds, and we're not even done yet. A flash flood threat also continues for Omaha. As we look live, the camera really jumping around.
Yeah, easily reports of 50, 60, 70, perhaps even 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts will be quite common this evening. Our reports even ahead of this area in Iowa, some downbursts of around 90 miles per hour, knocking people and trees and doing damage to homes. And again, these thunderstorms are packing quite a strong punch on this Tuesday. Hey, welcome to a very busy Tuesday, and we have preempted programming to keep you ahead of these storms. I'm Paul Goodlow.
And I'm Kelly Cass. Once again, thanks for joining us. We've had quite a bit of storms already, and we're not done yet. We've got some active severe watches out there, even tornado watches that are currently in effect from Iowa, northern Missouri, back into the western parts of Nebraska. So this is a tornado watch. It does include southern parts of Iowa, northern Missouri, and Omaha. That goes till 1 o'clock in the morning central.
As we push a little farther western to western Nebraska, this tornado watch goes until 10 o'clock Mountain Time, 11 Central, and then into the Panhandle, Nebraska, up into areas of Wyoming and South Dakota. This one extends until 8 o'clock. More of a severe wind issue with this, but even in around these areas, not to be actually in it, you can still deal with strong damaging winds, possibly even tornadoes, so do not let your guard down. This will be a long, stormy, in many places, very windy and rainy night.
Our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, is tracking these storms from our Global Forecast Center. Greg, where's the worst of it right now, you think?
Well, we have quite a series of storms all the way from north central parts of Missouri back into western parts of Nebraska, all of them more or less following a front or in some cases reinforced by some of their own rain and hail cooled air along a boundary. So take a look here. We're talking from Kirksville, Missouri, back into Lamoni, Iowa, where you have a tornado warning, back into Omaha area. Look at all the greens beginning to line up now with flash flood warnings, and then severe thunderstorms all the way back to north and east of North Platte and even beyond that. So let's just take a look here a little bit in terms of the rainfall. there's been a lot of places here where in spots there's been estimated in yellow more than 3 inches of rain, and a pretty big swath here, dark greens over 2 inches, with yet for the Omaha area, for example, many more storms yet to come. So it's going to get worse in Omaha before it gets better. You see already some places there with 3 inches, and yet probably 3 or 4 more inches could happen yet with all these storms before the night is over. Now let's take a look at some of the storms. We'll start here in northern parts of Missouri, getting very close to and just northwest of Kirksville. It's a storm that severe warnings for Grundy and Mercer and Sullivan and a number of other counties. You see at times some big hail in the Lavender cores there, and then like many of these storms, the damaging winds coming right down along the south edge of the storm system. Let's slide a little bit off then about toward Lamoni, Iowa, just north of the Missouri border. Tornado warning there for Decatur County. This one also a big bow echo with at times some strong rotation showing up in that one. And I'll go to the high definition radar here, and you can see there's been a bit of a merger there from the storm ahead of it with a little bit of a storm that a leading edge of the front storm. Big hail back around the Mount Ayr area, but then as you go right down into the Lamoni, Iowa area, there's a little bit of an appendage coming south and east there, and with some rotation showing up within that. That's the normalized rotation quantified if you look at the way we often do it, with very fast winds coming southeastbound. So that probably is going to be the main thing, damaging winds coming toward and just south of Lamoni, but there is a little bit of a return flow that could also give a tornado, and if so, that could be coming toward the Lamoni, Iowa area at this point. Let's go along then. Many more storms, including another one that's south and east of Omaha here, beginning to get a little bit of a circulation in that one. Look how it's beginning to spiral around, and with the inflow coming in there's a chance of a tornado as well as damaging winds. Damaging winds likely to be in this place where it's surging forward the most, Mills, Montgomery, and Page counties in Iowa. Severe thunderstorm warnings. Keep in mind that many of these storms have had gusts 70 to, in some cases, maybe 80 to 90 to 100 miles per hour. This could be yet another one of those, probably coming into the area, just especially the strongest winds just south of Red Oak toward the Villisca areas. Let's move along then, Sarah, and we'll see that a flash flood warning for the Omaha area. Then the next storm that at times has had pretty strong rotation signatures, Lancaster, Saunders counties there. And if I've hit the right button, we'll see this one coming in. Pretty well-defined little kink in the storm there, with possibility of tornado in the area not very far away from the Brainerd area. If I can find my mouse, I'll show you the rotation showing up. But the gust front has gotten out a little bit of ahead of that. The strongest rotation showing up right up on there, and it's an interesting position because this is one where the rear flank downdraft is coming in, the inflow coming in here, and this little line is the outflow boundary from the storm out ahead of it. So the strongest rotation is in the area along that old boundary. So it's going to be interesting to see when the gust front west of Brainerd hits that boundary north and east of Brainerd. No tornado warnings on this storm, but it certainly is the situation that is vulnerable to having a tornado. That whole line coming eastbound toward the Omaha area, coming back at about 8:07 or so. So yet again, another threat for damaging winds, hail, and more rain to add to the flood woes in the Omaha area. Let's see if we have time to go a little bit farther off to the west, Sarah, with additional storms coming in. And this one, and the next line that is off to the north of Grand Island, really getting a pronounced kink in that one at this point, with the main reason for that kink, very fast winds that are surging east here. But with that inflow and that notch there, it's also a situation where you could get the possibility of a tornado. We're talking the areas just to the north of Loop, and look how the winds shift along that. So you can get little brief tornadoes that spin up in there, heading toward the Fullerton area or areas just east of Loop and just to the southwest of the Fullerton area. So Paul and Kelly, it continues to be a very stormy night across Nebraska and spreading more and more across southern Iowa, northern Missouri, and even overnight tonight into Illinois. Let's hope everybody stays safe. Paul, Kelly?
All right, thanks, Dr. Forbes. And again, as we're still tracking this severe weather, we have Mike Bettis and the Tornado Track team out there in Nebraska, also on the trail of these strong storms.
Yeah, Mike, earlier we saw your video of that tractor trailer overturned. Where are you now, and what's the weather? It looks pretty windy where you are.
Yeah, right now we're at some outflow. We're in Gibbon, Nebraska. This is just outside of Kearney, and you can see this is the leading edge of some outflow put down by those storms north of Ravenna. And as you work your way north and east too, this kind of outflow is going to produce a 40, 50 mile per hour wind lightly Sometimes some of these outflows are strong enough to knock over some of these center pivots, some of these irrigation systems, but this is all cornfields out here for the most part. 35, our roof-mounted instruments at 35-mile-per-hour winds right now. But what you see here is a lot of dust that's being kicked up, a lot of dirt. Some of these areas haven't had a lot of rain today, and so it's not all packed down like mud. So that's where you're getting kind of the brown hue to the sky right now. The thing is, that one's going to pass off to the east, lay down an outflow to the south, and there's actually another storm, Kelly and Paul, back to the northwest. That may be one we get on. We'll, of course, bring it to you, but watch for a lot of gusty winds with these storms putting on outflows throughout the evening.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
You don't compromise, and you're never willing to settle. So why are you wearing glasses with just any Progressive lenses? See the difference with Verilux, the only Progressive lens brand with lenses designed using wave technology. Enjoy smooth transitions and sharp vision at any distance. See your eye care professional about Verilux, the #1 Progressive lens brand. Ask for Verilux. Never compromise your vision.
Now save $30 on Verilux when you combine with Crizal and Transitions lenses.
Ask your eye care professional about Transitions signature lenses.
Rich, chewy caramel, rolled up in smooth milk chocolate.
All aboard.
Rolo, get your smooth on.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so...
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state. Shopping online is as easy as it gets. Wouldn't it be great if hiring plumbers, carpenters, and even piano tuners were just as simple? Thanks to Angie's List, now it is. We've made hiring anyone from a handyman to a dog walker as simple as a few clicks. Buy their services directly at angieslist.com. No more calling around, no more hassles. Start shopping from a list of top-rated providers today.
Angie's List is revolutionizing local service again. Visit angieslist.com today.
Right on cue.
It's more than just a meal. It's Meow Mix Mealtime. With wholesome ingredients and irresistible taste, no wonder it's the only one cats ask for by name.
Anna.
Now every stop is an opportunity to save gas. And maybe someone's day. Introducing the new fuel-efficient 2014 Malibu with stop-start technology. The car for the richest guys on Earth.
Start your summer off right and get $2,000 customer cash on every 2014 Chevy Malibu.
Grow. It's what we do. But when we put something in the ground, feed it, and care for it, don't we grow something more? We grow big celebrations and personal victories. We grow new beginnings and better endings, grand gestures and perfect quiet. We grow escape, bragging rights, happier happy hours. So let's grow something greater with Miracle-Gro. What will you grow? Share your story at miraclegrow.com.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live, and take a look at these pictures here. Heavy storm damage in Craig, Nebraska, which is northeast of Omaha, and some type of metal structure fell over and actually smashed a truck that might be, can't quite tell what it is. It could be an irrigation thing or maybe even a telephone pole. Hard to tell, but definitely a strong wind gust at times measured over 80 miles per hour, quite rampant across the region.
And we also have another picture of a grain silo that was knocked over in the wind. This is in the same area of Craig, Nebraska. You can see the ominous clouds overhead as well. We did have some reports of trees down in some parts of central and western Nebraska, and also the flash flood threat that continues as well, especially as you get into the eastern side of the state.
And take a look at this picture. It shows some type of a splintered tree besides what looks like used to be some type of outbuilding, maybe a garage or something that has totally collapsed because of the winds and possibly even a tornado as well. Again, we're closing in on about a dozen reported tornadoes so far today.
Yeah, another shot of a tree coming down. Looks to be a pretty big tree right there. You can see all the leaves scattered all over the place too. Keep in mind we've had some hail as well. That can also help strip the leaves, and then you get that strong wind coming through, and that can certainly blow over those trees quite easily.
Yeah, and take a look at this. That's a roof which has been peeled off of some type of building here in Craig, Nebraska. And we're talking about winds, again, 80, 90 plus mile per hour winds have been reported with these thunderstorms. Some of the storms themselves are moving over 70 miles per hour, and that's still a huge concern as storms are still severe right now. Let's check in with Kelly, who's watching the radar.
We are still on the lookout, unfortunately, for tornadoes, and now that it's pretty dark out there, it's going to be hard to see, when bad weather is approaching, so you don't really need to see it. When you're under warning, you need to get to your safe place immediately. Do not wait for it. Lowest level of your home or business and away from the windows. These are active tornado watches going southern Iowa, northern Missouri, eastern Nebraska, including Omaha, and that takes us into the wee hours of the morning. Also, western Nebraska, we're watching this area as well, and the western parts of South Dakota, a severe thunderstorm watch for you. So already we've had some storms kind of lining up right along or just a little bit south of Interstate 80, some severe thunderstorm warnings and flash flooding. That is a huge concern in Omaha. We've already had several inches of rainfall, but as we're zoomed in now to southern Iowa, this is where we do have an active tornado warning. Radar indicating some rotation with this storm right here, and now it looks like they may have just dropped the tornado warning. That is now a severe thunderstorm warning for Clark and Decatur counties, but still you need to do the same thing as you would with a tornado warning. Away from the windows, lowest level of your home, and off the electrical appliances. Lots of lightning with these storms, and you can see Omaha still under that flash flood warning until 12:15 Central Time. Plenty of lightning with other storms that are going across the heart of Nebraska, really around Kearney. Severe thunderstorm warnings going for all these counties that are circled in the yellow. And here's a look at all the storm reports we've had already with the large hail and damaging winds, and of course the flash flooding an issue for us as well. Paul?
Well, speaking of the damage, massive hail has torn apart the side of this house here in Blair, Nebraska. You can see the hail is littering the ground there, and then yeah, the side of the house, yeah, that is just a mess right there. Look at the size of the holes in the side, not the roof, the side of the house. Windows smashed out. And yeah, it's going to be a while before this house is back up and running to its previous state. It's a beautiful house. Well, it was a beautiful looking house for a little while there. But still tomorrow, we still can't rule out the risk of more of the same. Strong and severe thunderstorms, large hail, damaging wind, plenty of lightning, also heavy rain here. Some of the same real estate we're dealing with it right now. Wyoming, into the Dakotas, into areas in Nebraska, northeastern areas of Colorado. And then we also have another area pushing eastward as we head really overnight tonight and through tomorrow. Starting across southwestern Missouri towards the Boot Heel, also St. Louis, down through downstate Illinois, Paducah, Kentucky, Louisville, Indianapolis. We're also talking about Cincinnati and on towards Charleston, Charleston, West Virginia, then on towards Pittsburgh, and eventually past Hagerstown, maybe even Roanoke, and into D.C. and Baltimore. We could see these storms make it that far as we head towards tomorrow. Already had a line of thunderstorms around D.C. earlier today, Baltimore as well. Our Torcons 4s and 5s as we head towards tomorrow. That means 5 is a 50% chance of seeing a tornado in and around areas of southern Ohio and northern Kentucky. Within 50 miles of that area, you could see a tornado tomorrow because of this. So this is not just a one evening or a couple of hour event. This is the type of event which is at least a 2-day event, and storms that start tonight will fire up and give a wind damage threat as we head into early tomorrow morning.
Bridgestone tires perform best when you need it most.
Like when Julie Bowen is late taking her son to a birthday party.
Okay, people, you, front seat, you, out of my way. Julie has our new Drive Guard tires, the next generation of run flat technology.
Oh, good. Nails.
Oh, these tires are engineered to take a puncture and then drive up to 50 miles.
50 miles? Great, because I remember the present, but I forgot the kid. Yeah, you need to check. Oh, I forgot. I have a lot of kids.
As a commercial beekeeper, Dave tracks the Weather Channel forecast closely, predicting when crops across the country will bloom and need bees for pollination. At a moment's notice, he loads and trucks thousands of bees, keeping his eye on the weather to ensure his fragile cargo makes it to the blooms on time. When the bees and blooms matter, Dave turns to the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 84. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Look.
My football contract forbids me from riding motorcycles. That's a problem, because I really want to ride the new Can-Am Spyder. Luckily, I found a loophole.
You're retiring?
I'm retiring.
Oh, God.
It has it all. An exhilarating ride with awesome stability and control.
There's no better time to buy a Can-Am Spyder. Right now, get up to a $3,000 rebate on select models, plus a 3-year warranty. Watch the ride that made Drew's agent cry at CanAmSpyder.com.
You may have to travel like this, but at Courtyard, you can stay like this and enjoy more of this and this. It's a new stay. Courtyard.
What makes Florida's natural taste so fresh and